Oh, you guys suck. There you go, Benny.
I still got the other song in my head.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome. That was a fantastic intro, wasn't it?
Alright.
Jeez.
Chris never does an intro again.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets better.
You were supposed to join in. You guys have sung songs and I tried to do one. Obviously, you don't know that one anyway.
I don't like that song.
You guys don't like Annie Lennox? Oh, fair enough.
Who are Lennox?
Never heard of the Eurythmics? Sweet dreams are made of
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
Annie Lennox is the singer from...
You're not 45 like you could.
Suck, Jake.
Jeez, what does that make me? Like 60 now?
You're not?
Jake, what episode are we on to?
18, baby!
Oh my god, episode 18's of Dudes at the Round Table!
Almost in double digits.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
We're almost in the 20s.
What? You're almost
We're
in
getting there.
thousands.
One day.
We've gone out of our moody teens phase and we're at the maturing teen stage, whatever the hell. Phage.
Sage. I have to say, it was around this time last year when we started our first episode.
Contemplating the ideas? Or?
Contemplating, and then we had one episode, and then we had a big break over Christmas. No, we were contemplating, weren't we? And then we had the first episode.
The first one was...
January it was in January.
Yeah, so we're almost 12 months
I thought it was
in,
February
and
we
we're
recorded the first one.
almost 20 episodes.
I'm pretty sure it was
20.
February.
It was.
Yeah.
It was Feb, wasn't it, Brett, when
Yeah,
we
Feb.
recorded with you? Brett's sitting in the background here too, by the way, guys.
No, we're not talking about our first episode. We're talking about when we did like 3 fuck around episodes before we actually got Brett on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still have them recorded.
That was like
they may come out.
that was like in Jan.
Well, there you go.
We'll call them the cringe episodes.
Cringe.
Yeah, they've got to be released. People have to hear
I
them.
am listening back to all of our earlier episodes and adding sound effects and stuff like that, and it is so cringe.
The dude's cringe
the
era.
pauses, I don't know how I didn't hear the pauses in between our conversations. It was just like specifically you two. So you guys are just yeah, so our guest tonight. He's a good friend of mine.
This is gonna be hard for the people listening now.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was
Maybe if we start like a Patreon or something like that, we'll put those old testing episodes on there or something.
there.
Maybe.
yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
Become a member and then you can listen to the cringy shit.
Let people embrace
Pay
your
for cringy
shame.
shit.
Let them embrace the
We
shame.
need to get to at least 1,000 followers before we can do
First,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Because our 3 Indonesian fans, aka Ray's 3 uncles, so gonna support us.
How did I go from Indian to being Indonesian? What the fuck?
don't
That's
know.
not the same country.
Oh, shit.
Country.
It's not the same
Let's not say country.
country.
No. Anyway, we're up to episode 18, listeners, and today is a very special, but sort of a sad episode as well. With our guest today is someone that's very, very close to us. His family.
Let's pause it again.
His
It's the gravitas.
name is... No, sorry. All right. Oh my god! Now our guest today is none other. I've done this before. God's sake!
Hey, goodbye, Chris.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Shit. What's up, brother Ben? How you doing, my man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm fucking magnificent, my man.
It's
good to
fucking
be
early.
It's good to be here. Yeah, it's actually early for a Saturday morning.
It is. Yes, we usually do our podcast on a Friday evening, but today we are doing it in the glorious morning hours of Saturday morning.
That's right. And already have a drink in hand, so
Yeah.
don't judge us.
It's happy hour somewhere in the world.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
But here we are, fellas. Benny, how the hell are you, mate?
I'm doing all right. I've been going through some stuff this year. I'm still going through some stuff this year, but soon I'll be heading off to the UK. So just kind of enjoying as much time with friends and family as I can before I head off, and just savouring the small moments at the moment, which is good.
Yeah, like you said, you're moving to the UK. That's not too far away now. We've pretty much got a week. Exactly, almost, don't we? Oh, sorry, a week and a day.
Week and a day.
Yeah, I mean, by the time this episode comes out, I'll probably already be there for a few weeks. So
You can expand our UK base then.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Send me the merch. I'll wear that shit. Send it.
Nice.
We just start sending guests off to different parts of the world.
UK Street Crew, Benny. The Benny chapter.
Yeah. I'll become Indonesian. And you won't be invited to Bali.
Womp.
Yeah, okay.
What did you? I thought you said you called him Indonesian. I'm like, that's
He
the
goes,
worst
he
joke.
goes, our listeners in India, I mean Indonesia. I'm like,
Oh dear.
Yep.
you're French, right?
See,
That's Spanish.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Benny.
Raymond.
So, obviously, all of us here right now know a lot about you. We've, to some extent, grown up with you and stuff like that as well. I used to be terrified of you at one point.
knows why.
Before I got to know you, this was in like high school days.
Yeah.
When,
Okay.
when I wasn't nearly as big as what I am now, and you were way bigger than me and just looked menacing.
Yeah, it's my resting bitch face.
Yeah.
And this would have been pre-beard too. But
Oh, yeah.
for all of us,
Yeah.
except you, Jake. Sorry.
For our listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm an audio engineer. That's what I've been doing for the last, say, 10 years, since 2010. That just involves like working on like concerts, as you guys know, doing live shows. I worked for a PA company for 7 years, and we looked after like all the big festivals that would come into Perth, which sadly don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, festivals.
Rest in peace, many festivals, I mean, especially this year as well. But just over the last, say, 10 years, the decrease in the amount of festivals has been pretty considerable.
I still remember like back then, like I remember hearing like you'd be at so and so festival, and I'd be like, oh, what stage are you at? You're like, oh, I'm at this stage, and then I'd be so fucked up that I'd never actually end up crossing paths with you.
I can't get there. I'm sorry.
I can't move.
It was crazy. Like back then, there was the guys that looked after the audio part, and essentially I predominantly was like the stage guy. So I was like wrangling all of the inputs on stage, making sure like all the musicians had all the power and stuff that they needed, just to make sure that the audio guys had everything they needed. So it just involved just running around all day, switching like band to band, prepping bands before they come on, dealing with bands. We'd always get the wrong input lists and stage plots, which is a common plight for audio people. It's very fucking annoying. So if you're out there and you're listening, do your bloody stage plots properly, please.
Do better.
There's nothing worse like at busy festivals and a band that's like 40 channels rocks up and all 40 channels are wrong, and it's like it's usually a hot day, is loud music, and you're having to do stuff on the fly, which is stressful, but at the same time, it was pretty incredible, like what we got to do.
Yeah.
You see, you definitely would have seen some pretty awesome acts over the years, like especially like the amount of years that you were involved doing this. Like, do you have any like highlights from like band wise, particularly? Like,
I was always sort of more like hip hop, like electronic, sort of minded for shows. It wasn't until like I got a little bit older I started to appreciate like the heavy music a lot more.
yeah,
But for me, like artists like DJ Shadow, when him and Cut Chemist did like a 45 vinyl set like back to back, and it was just like the most incredible thing to watch.
Sick.
Bands like The Prodigy, I was lucky enough to be like side of stage with them playing, and it was so fucking loud on stage that all you could hear was just like, it was almost like white noise. It was literally that loud. Like fuck knows how those guys do that shit day in, day out. But
I remember you saying that when you just finished off that shift doing that with the Prodigy.
man.
I'm like, what? Like, I couldn't imagine being that close. to an awesome
another
band.
favourite band of mine is like Tame Impala, and seeing those guys live a few times, like just incredible every single time.
Masters of
Never
their craft for
disappoint.
sure.
Working on shows and going as a punter, but yeah, working on shows, they're nice guys and put on a bloody killer show.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, I mean, aside from the concerts and stuff, we also looked after sporting matches. So when I worked for the PA company, we did stuff like the Perth Glory, Western Force, like West Coast Eagles, Freo Dockers. I sort of got a bit sick of that because I always wanted to do the like shows side of thing, but then, you know, as it happened, I ended up falling into doing like sports presentation.
More so, yeah.
Yeah, which I kind of enjoyed more. Is a lot more structured, and like I really love like doing audio in that situation when there's like 50,000 people. Like you just feel the energy, and I feel like when you're like pushing the music and doing all the sounds out to the bowl, if you can like hype up the crowd and you feed off their energy, like that to me, that's like the next level shit. Like,
It's almost like you're the conveyor of the energy, the message, almost that's coming from the artist.
Yeah,
itself.
100%,
So
man.
you're part of that
yeah, I mean,
delivery mechanism.
like bands can be great, but if they have a shit sound guy, I mean, they're only as good as their weakest link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this thing, like you've seen shows when bands, like really good bands that you love, come, but their engineer that they've got maybe doesn't have that connection with that band, and you go and watch a show and
They
you're
turn
like,
the bass up to 11 and it's
yeah, like you kind of watch a show and you're like, well, that was pretty like average.
Yeah.
But it's not the band's fault. The band's doing what they do. It's just
yeah.
yeah.
And they obviously can't hear it from the audience's
Oh, no.
perspective
No.
as well.
God,
They
they
hear
got
it
no
from the
idea.
fallbacks or the in-ears
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
They just go out and do their show and rely on the other people to do their show.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to countless shows where, like, yeah, the audio was kind of shitty. I think, I can't remember what band it was, but I think it might have been like Bullet or something like that. And, like, yeah, the bass was just through the roof.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you couldn't make out the guitars. It was just all muddy. And
Well, who
it
did
was
we
like-
see? Like Angel and Airwaves at Soundwave.
Oh, that
And
was-
the bass was so like all you could hear was just like
It was a
the
wall
bass.
of it was a wave of just bass. Like before they started,
made
it
you
was
feel
a big,
sick, man.
The stage looked like just a big white bright light. Before they came on, it was just like a hum of like bass, and you feel it in your whole body just shaking, and you're like, can you start playing music now? This is too much. But no, you're right. Like going
Literally
to-
angels because it's white and the airwaves are hitting you. You're like, ah!
with what you were saying before,
Everyone just died. Like,
with it being so fucking loud. I remember when we went to see Bring Me the Horizon, not Melbourne the year before, or the time before that, and being pretty much front stage center, like right in front of the speakers, like it was so loud that all the music just sounded like it was warping, like it was like just it just sounded, it was just so loud. I remember after that show, it was like,
Yeah, you won't be hearing that frequency again.
no, that was intense. I'm like, turn that down.
That's when Chris turned old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I broke my back and my rib cage after that show, but it was worth it. But no, Benny, like getting into the audio work. I remember when it all started for you, like just after a couple of years after high school, you got into SAE, the music college. Would you call it music college or audio?
Yeah,
technical college,
SAE
or-
was a little bit later. I did I did Cert 3 and Cert 4 of technical audio production at Leaderpool.
Oh, sorry.
TAFE,
Yes, you did that first, yes.
which was awesome. Like the venue was really cool. I think they've updated it like considerably since I was there. It was like after that, I sort of didn't really do much audio stuff, and I was kind of working in a job that like money was good, but I just
Wasn't your passion,
wasn't feeling stimulated, and it was just kind of like, like why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. And then there was an opportunity for, I think Fee Help came along, which allowed people to start using SAE, and the government would, pay for you, same as like, student loans, like the Fee Help sort of thing, because their courses were pretty pricey and they needed the money kind of up front. So the Fee Help definitely helped with that, something that I'm sure I'll be paying off for many years to come, because shocker, audio engineer, not $1 million job.
It's kind of the trade-off of like the experience and like what you get paid. Kind of thing,
I
right?
mean, it's all relative. The newer that you are, sort of the crapper stuff you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
But that's all right. You can't expect to have the best of the best. But yeah, doing the SAE was cool. Like got to meet heaps of awesome people, get experience on like tape machines and stuff that I'd never really had the chance to play with before, which was kind of cool. And then through that, it was actually through studying is how I actually got into working with the PA company. We worked. SAE had an opportunity to do this One Movement Festival, which was like a 3-day festival. I think it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like 12-hour days, and we were just like the shit kickers for the actual professionals.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like just went, like gave my all, worked my ass off, and was lucky enough to be introduced to the guy who owned the PA company, and then kind of the rest was history from there.
That's awesome.
Got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and then I spent pretty much most of my 20s like working my ass off, just working and not, missing so many things, birthdays and weddings and holidays and all kinds of shit just to really put in the hard work. Which I mean did pay off. It did pay off, but you end up missing out on a lot of shit. But
That's true. Well, you definitely earned your stripes in this industry, and like your name's
Yeah.
kind of sought out. Especially in the sports realm which
Yeah.
you've worked at Optus Stadium for a couple of years now, and like you're asked for there now, which is fantastic. And like
Yeah.
whenever you're watching sports on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever through the week, and you hear all the music and all the microphones, people talking and stuff, Ben is a major part of what you hear in that. So
Yeah.
we love your work, Benny.
And if it goes to shit after next Sunday, you know why.
Yeah.
Hashtag RP.
Bye.
No, Optus Stadium's been great. I've been lucky enough to tour around Australia last summer, working on the international cricket. So I got to do like the Boxing Day test at the MCG, which was pretty incredible. I think it was like 82,000 people. The national anthems on that day, like still, like I think about it today, just the chills because the whole stadium was just like singing, and just like the electricity in that venue was just
Special moment.
was
That's awesome.
unreal, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big moment there, Brady. Getting a beverage. Getting to the MCG, the SCG, and a lot of the other bigger like venues in Australia has been pretty humbling.
Yeah.
But I still love Optus Stadium. Like Perth is where my
Your roots are.
my roots are, and like Optus, it is a nice new venue, but it's just got a perfect little spot in my heart.
Yeah. And you haven't just worked in Perth, you've been over east as well and done some work there too in the audio field.
Yep, did some stuff over in Queensland many years ago for another PA company over there. That was short-lived. But yeah, predominantly most of my work has been here in Perth. And last summer I was just lucky enough to trot around the country and get paid to do something that almost doesn't feel like it should be a job, but
Yeah.
it's just been very lucky, and hard work sort of brings a bit of luck.
No, I've always
Just
respected
embrace
that about you, Benny. You've worked more than hard at what you've always, been employed. Well, I've said that wrong. Let me start that again.
And rewind.
You've always worked even harder than what most people would expect of people.
Above and beyond.
Above and beyond, yes. And people, like I said before, they're asking for your name. They want Benny there. They need Benny there. He's the man that needs to be on this job. And no, I take my hat off to you, man. I've always been proud of what you've done and what you've achieved, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And you've always had that passion, and you've never lost it. And
Yeah, like I don't know, just ever since a little kid, like I've always been fascinated with like music and sound. Like it would just, mum and dad would like play records, and I'd just sit there and like watch the way the speakers move, and like
Yeah.
that shit always just like fascinated me. Like how the hell is like that coming out of that? Like music was.
Plastic disc.
I know, like it's the most trippy shit when you're young. Like you think, wow, this is pretty out there, but like audio is there's just something about it. Like I just love every part of it, music, sounds, just everything.
I think that says something like, not to get super fucking geeky here, but like almost everything in the world and the universe it resonates at a frequency.
Frequencies, yes.
Frequencies of sounds, essentially. So and it's kind of like, we've heard Chris say in previous episodes multiple times, like music really gets to a different level, like emotionally, internally, like for different people.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So I think there's something, not just music, but like just sound.
Yeah,
As such,
there's
like,
definitely something to it for sure. 100% believe it.
And I think, like, just coming to mind now, it's like a transfer of energy almost. It's like you were saying, your experience, with the national anthems and stuff like that. You're taking energy from, or information from, a recording or something like that, transferring that into energy, which goes out into the speakers. That speaker is transferred through the air into our ear holes, and that's then creating energy in those individuals, those thousands and thousands of
And then
individuals.
that energy turns into an emotional energy, and it's just like,
that
whoa.
energy has come right back at you.
Yeah.
And you've kind of reaped that positive vibe that's come from a simple, I'd assume it's simple, but like, a setup of like just playing the national anthem, or, just being able to put that sound out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah.
You think, I'm in control of all of this, and
Yeah.
this came from me
Yeah.
here, like just setting this. Oh, yeah.
it's
you see it and you
it's
hear it.
crazy. Like we did the Women's World Cup as well at the start of March. That was like the biggest crowd that they've had for women's matches, I think, potentially worldwide. We had like 86,000 people at the MCG.
Wow.
It's a brand new PA system that they've put in there, so we were giving it a little bit of a run for its money. And Music Greg, shout out Greg O'Shea,
Greg.
absolute legend, kept that place. He was the DJ for the World Cup, and he just kept that place like alive all day.
Remember you were telling us about that I think when you first came back from it, like, yeah, you were
Man.
just like, this is an awesome vibe.
It just all day. It was just like energy from the start of the day to the end of the day, and then Katy Perry was the headliner for the crowd.
Showing.
Yeah, god damn.
What was she showing?
Her wings.
Katy Berries. Katy Berries.
But no, man, we have like so many, like looking back on it, like so many fond memories of like recording with you over the years, whether we were from like teenagers even to now, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like with Brett and yourself, Ray, and your sister Amy, which is my wife. So for those out there, Benny's actually my brother-in-law. So
That's right, brothers for life.
brothers for life. Yeah, just recording like from our old bands, man. Like those were some of the best memories doing that. And whenever we performed live, Ben was always our sound guy at that time as well. Like always making it happen for us. Like, do you have any fond memories of like recording back in the day with us as being younger kids, so to speak?
I mean, there's like every session's different. We always had
True.
our difficulties, and we had so many fun times. Like thinking back to like Snowy's rehearsal rooms and all.
Wow,
Like
yeah.
that was.
Shout out to old Snowy.
That's right, absolute legend. Yeah, like doing nights there or mornings there, doing some recording. You guys doing your jams, and when you guys went to go back and play at the high school.
Oh,
think-
that was different. The Jeans for Jeans day, was it? Or
Yeah,
something
Jeans
like
for Jeans.
Yeah.
You've got the little news article in the
Yeah, I do
The
actually. My
studio,
studio,
yeah.
little newspaper snippet cut out.
snooze maybe sniffers.
Because you guys had already left high school, yeah, and then
We came
we
back,
went back to
yeah.
play the show.
I'm trying to think what year that was. 2012, maybe 2011. I don't know, something around those lines.
I was a younger, lighter version of myself, yeah. A balder version of myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like when
Shame
I
that.
come back and find some of the older songs that we've recorded, like back in TAFE days or other times, and you're just like, wow, it's definitely takes you back to a different time.
Definitely.
Very different.
Our Unearth page is still up on the Triple J website kind of thing. So I go back like maybe at least once a month, once every 2 months, and I go back and actually listen to Leaving You.
Yeah,
Record
oh
that
man,
record. That is-
leaving you was like honestly the best song I think today.
And I remember, like, because when we recorded it, like, that was, like, one of the best songs. Like, it was always stuck in a lot of our friends' heads. Anyone that listened to it is always stuck. Like, you hear people just humming it. And we're very proud of that song. And then, remember there's a solo that shout out to Rob Parker, our old guitarist. He done the solo, and then, I don't know what happened, but I think something happened where the guitar solo shifted a little bit. And it was supposed to end right before everything stopped and it was just Amy singing, but it ended up shifting to where like the solo ended during that stop where Amy sings, and for some reason, somehow you made it work, and it actually sounded 10 times better than just like a standard blocked kind of, like we're like, whoa, okay, yeah, cool, awesome. It was just really, really awesome.
That needs to be released. Just so people on that listen to this podcast,
You should play it at the end of the show. Hi, sorry, can I just interrupt? Speaking of leaving you, I just had a bit of a memory. I remember, obviously, Benny recording that for us at Snowy's, and the bass, the kick drum mic was on one of my Van's shoes.
Ah, yes, the good
because we
old
didn't
days.
have a mic stand, so that's a fun little hilarious memory. I think we got a photo of that somewhere.
The good old days of having no money.
That's
and,
it,
like,
yeah.
trying to
Where it all
make
started.
it work. Yeah.
But I just want to share a nice memory when Ben finally gave us that song. I think that was in 2009. So we were 19. Me and Ray were doing graphic design in TAFE, and Ray was really excited to show me the song. So Ray was driving home from TAFE from the train station. We're actually in his car, and Ray, obviously being a 19-year-old, had some big subs in the back of his car because we were so cool. And I remember we're like, oh, I wonder if the kick drum's going to have the big bass sound. That's what you want when you got a big sub in the back. And as soon as my kick drum came into play, oh man, that bass sounded so cool. And me and Ray just looked at each other and go, holy shit. And we just high-fived each other in the car. Do you remember that? Yeah. It's a good memory for me.
Awesome.
It was awesome. And yeah, Ben is definitely a master at what he does. And yeah, really good memories.
And the different locations we'd record in, and you would make it work. Like, I
Yeah.
remember we've done a few recordings at Snowy's. We've done a few in, like, your back room when you used to live at home.
Oh God, I memory
And
just popped
then
into my
even
head.
going to the old SAE studio and having to hoik everything up that tiny little elevator.
Yeah, fuck.
And trying to get it out of our cars because where the building was, it was a very, like, almost like a 45 fucking degree
Yeah, that
angle
was-
that
that was
street was
fun.
on. And you're carrying your gear going uphill, like, why the fuck did I park up here? Like, yeah,
Yep.
good memories.
You were saying recording at your folks' house back in the day.
Mattresses
I think
and pillows.
the mattresses and pillows and stuff. I remember doing some drum takes and we were probably halfway through a song. Bless you, Brett. And you just hear this. I'm like, I stopped playing. I'm like, did you hear that, Ben? And you're like, what the fuck was that? I look around again and hear this, Chris! And I'm like, oh fuck. So I get off my drum kit, squeeze through the little gap and go through the door. And Amy's bedroom was right next to the room that we were recording in. And I see Amy on the floor with her leg up in the air. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I look at her knee and her knee is like
Oh yeah.
in the opposite direction of where it should be. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck's just happened? But yeah, that's just a memory that that just popped in my head after you saying that recording at your folks' place.
If you listen carefully in the background, you
can hear the screaming. Gotta listen real close.
How'd you hit those notes, Amy?
Yeah. My knee was dislocated. That's how.
And then she was high.
Oh yes, and the Ambos came and they gave her one of those the suction pens,
Yeah,
The green whistle.
the green whistle, and that was hilarious.
That was good night.
On another
Maybe.
note, from the audio side of things, bro, put that aside. You started like a little online thing to do with the nice drop that we all get around. Lovely ciders, mate.
apples.
I did, my friend. I did.
Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown about how that all started and kicked off
Sure.
for you?
So, like, for as long as I can remember, like, as a kid, I would always eat, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 apples a day. You know what I mean? Like, smashing the
I
apples.
don't want to go to the doctors.
Rarely went to the doctor, so fucking, man, take that shit.
Hey.
Yeah, I just always loved apple juice, always loved apples. And then as I got a bit older, I could start drinking alcohol. I was never really, like, a huge fan of beer. Especially, like, craft beer and stuff didn't exist back then. So it was like... or if it did, it was pretty like niche. But a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff was just pretty like bland beer that I'm not really interested in.
Right.
So I would always drink cider, and I would always cop a lot of shit for that because I would get told that it was an old lady's drink, or you know.
Now it's kind of like the other way around. Now,
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Now it's like fucking everybody drinks cider.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
But like I used to drink. Like my thing was, if I found a new one, I would always want to try it. So I would always take pictures, and then my ex-partner at one point printed out all those pictures and put them into like a little like photo book thing, and I was like, fuck, there's like a lot of cider in here. I thought there needs to be like a better way of like documenting this, and like I was playing a bit like a little bit more around on Instagram, and found there was heaps of people that had like beer pages, beer or spirits or you know whatever else, but there seemed to be like a real lacking like thing for cider. So this was back in end of 2016, I think I started this.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what, I'll just give it a go and see sort of like where it can take me. And like since then, I think I'm like 2,700 followers. You know, it's slowly creeping up,
Yeah.
but it's taken a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't been like the most active like person on there. Like I went through stages where I like if I didn't find cider, because often I would have tried them all,
Yeah.
like going to all my local spots, and then it'd be ages before I find a new one. So there'd be heaps of like, you know, time where I didn't post anything, but I'm trying to be more proactive now.
Yeah.
Trying to promote it more and just see where it can take me, because I love cider, and it's like wine. Like they're all so different.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy that you say that, because like I'm the same. When I got pretty bad bowels for the people that know me and shit. And when I first started drinking about 17, 18, yeah, you were one of the reasons why I fell in love with cider myself, man. Like, because yeah, I tried beer, I tried whiskey and all that stuff, and I just could never sit right in my guts, and I just like never really rated the taste. I like whiskey, but yeah, obviously doesn't sit well. But yeah, then obviously when you brought the cider in, man, I just never looked back, man. And it's an enjoyable drink. You can have it pretty much any time of the day without it tasting like shit, you know. Like it's a fucking.
Yeah,
It's especially good in the summertime.
Oh, it's
for
a
yeah.
wicked summer drink, and like you said, anyone can drink it. Everyone will enjoy a cider, even
Yeah.
if you don't want to drink ciders all the time. It's
That's the thing. Like WA, we're pretty blessed with cider makers. Like, there's a few really good cideries around here. Like, shout out to the guys at Funk.
Yeah.
Like, these guys make incredible ciders, and if you haven't been out to their cidery, I would definitely suggest going out there.
Yes,
and
I
just
would
experiencing
definitely
it.
get around some of the old funk
One of the
drops for
hottest
sure.
spots. For sure.
Hey,
Is that the 8% you gave me the other day?
No. This is a different one. This is their cucumber cider.
very different blend, but I can get around it. I really enjoy that one actually.
Yeah.
That's right. When I tasted it earlier, like I couldn't quite get my finger on the point of like what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Cucumber reminds me of gin.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
kind of
I had it and I'm like,
got a bit of it.
What?
That's
Like,
what I literally thought it was
Oh.
before I realised he had the bottle on the table, and I sit there, I was like, whoa.
yeah. No, it's actually very.
The passion fruit one's my favourite out of that.
They did.
I love it.
Yeah.
They did make a gin cider with another Swan Valley producer, Old Youngs.
What?
I think we might have.
A what?
A what?
A what?
A gin cider?
A gin cider, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So the guys at Old Youngs took some of Funk cider and distilled it to make a cider spirit. Right.
Deadly.
What?
Exactly. And then they mixed the two back together to make a gin cider. So then they mixed the gin back with the cider.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
It's as
Holy shit, my brain
it's
is
as
being blown
ridiculous and amazing as it sounds.
Oh, man.
And if you can get it on tap, that is exactly where it's
Oh.
at. It's so good.
Oh.
If like the range that Funk has in particular, if they had that at most pubs with their like say even half of their variety, that shit would sell like hotcakes.
Oh,
man.
that,
Like,
yeah, it's killing it, man.
We're selling it with hotcakes.
yeah.
Yeah, you get to say it.
I'm sorry, this is horrible. You guys can hate me for saying this, but I'm just randomly. You guys know how my fucking brain works, but you can just see like at the distillery, they're going through, they're checking like the big vats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One guy falls into the vat and he's like, "Oh, help me!" And one of his co-workers come over. "Oh, it looks like you're in a bit of a funk."
Jesus Christ.
We just lost 5 subscribers.
And everyone just switched off just then. Sorry.
And we're back.
Oh my goodness.
So now that you're moving to the UK, bro, do you feel like because you're going to be around a lot more ciders and like a lot of, do you
New
reckon-
ciders.
Yeah, new ciders, I should say. It will help you more promote and get back into the groove of things.
I think so. I want to it's kind of a fun thing because I've found that most of at least in Australia anyway, a lot of the cider makers and people that work in these cideries are like generally really nice people, really friendly, want to have a yarn, want to sort of let you know about their secret. Like shout out to Adam at Rolling Stone Brewing as well, because honestly, man, their cider is killer as well.
Yeah.
There's so many in WA, man. Like you just
Yeah.
jump on the ciderverse and you might
People.
might be able to check out what's available in WA.
Which social media sites are you? I know you're on Instagram. You got Facebook on that as well? Or?
I do have Facebook, but I've kind of let that fall to the wayside. So
Instagram's where it's at,
Instagram's definitely where to get me at.
Well, check out the Ciderverse on Instagram. People
We'll
like,
post that when
In the show
release.
notes,
yeah.
For sure.
And I know you've had a lot of people approach you too from different distilleries and cideries as well, and wanting you to test and try out new products and previously existing products as well. And I love the pictures that you put with
Thank
the
you.
actual drink itself. Like you find these crazy little nooks and crannies that where it would just look perfect in the colours and everything. And I think it's very clever the way you do it and the way
Yeah.
you promote other ciders. It's
my
really
my
smart.
my small little bit of artistic vision. I don't know. It's just you just find something. I think that would look cool there, and just take a few snaps, and then the rest is history. It gets uploaded and
Hell yeah!
get
so,
that dopamine from people's
Likes.
liking them.
The likes.
Yeah, boy.
While sipping on a cider.
But
While sipping, yeah.
listen, folks, if you are new to drinking cider and you're not quite sure on what to drink or what to look for,
Fuck the Summersby off and hit up Ciderverse
Yeah.
and you'll
Do you
find
know-
some actual decent cider.
Please put the Summersby down.
go to the Ciderverse page and have a look, because there's more than a delicious variety of different ciders to choose and learn from on there, people. So check it out. Ciderverse.
Chris like slowly covering the label of what he's drinking.
Mr. Finch is a nice
I
drop.
actually really like that
Is
cider.
that the premium apple or is that the low sugar?
Is that the premium apple or the economic?
I might have mix those words up, but you know what
It's
I'm
like
saying.
the bottles are like cardboard.
Wine's getting to your head again, Chris.
With, no, if I'm drinking ciders and beers, I try to stick to the low sugar, low carb ones, which
Yeah.
Is
they've
what you figure.
catered more particularly to the taste range now, because I think a lot more people are going for the low carb, low sugar as well.
I actually feel better on them as well. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I feel the same. It's not
and
as- ugh.
it's very much just like you know. I prefer diet sodas
Yeah.
as well. You know, like if I drink like full fat sodas or full sugar sodas, like there's just this weird thing to it. Like I just don't feel right on it.
Yeah.
you know. But you drink the
Especially-
diets,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
you can drink a lot of it. Not that you
You
should,
don't
but
feel as bloated, hey?
you don't feel as bloated. You don't
Yeah.
feel as fucked
Yeah.
up. Your energy's okay.
Because I have noticed that with the cheaper ciders, you bloat fucking so quick.
Yeah.
Within like
Yeah.
a 6-pack, you fucking like feel like you've had 12.
Yeah,
You know?
for you, there's cheese in it.
But here's an interesting fact. Apparently, when you drink alcohol that has
This is
like for example, that's like not the low sugar or whatever, that gives you more of a worse hangover. Like the sugar content in
Yeah.
alcoholic drinks gives you that really nasty hangover.
I've definitely realized that as I've gotten older, because when I was Jake's age, I could probably, smash 12 ciders in a night and not really have too much of a complaint. But
Yeah, yep.
now, man, if I drink more than a 6-pack, I'll just be like hungover just from the sugar. It won't
Yeah.
even be the alcohol.
Yeah.
It's punishing.
And you were telling me it was only, it felt like a couple of weeks, a couple of months ago, you were saying like with the mixing of like spirits with like diet sodas, right? You have more of a stronger alcohol content.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently,
you
you get drunker if you mix your spirits with sugar-free mixes.
So for all the alcoholics out
God
there,
knows
that's a
why.
pretty handy tip.
Tip of
So,
the day.
Drink responsibly, people.
Yes, please. Always responsibly.
as we take a sip at like 10:30 in the morning.
It's come on, mate. It's 10 past 11.
10 past 11.
Get with it.
Cool.
We're celebrating. Ben's only here for another
I
week,
know,
so
I know.
we're enjoying our last week with Benny.
Technically, we're drinking UK time. Hey.
Yeah. What time is it over there at the moment? It is.
See?
It is
I like that
10,
you got your
10 past
watch.
3 in the morning.
Yeah. This is when we come up with like these kind of conversations. That time of the morning, so we're all fucked by that point.
We're followed up by, I love you, man.
We should start a podcast. We already do. Oh yeah, but we should.
Another one.
Another one.
Oh man. So you excited for what you've got planned in the next 8 days?
Yes, it's going to be a little bit busy, which is good. We've got a little going away thing next week, which will be awesome with the friends and family who I adore the most, and it'll be good to
Should be a good night. I
say
reckon.
goodbye to everyone. I'm sure I'll be crying at some point, no doubt.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, there's a lot of people here that I love, but I feel that the older I get, if you don't push yourself and jump out of your comfort zone, you're never going to grow. So
Yeah.
it's time to put on the old big boy pants and head off
new
on a new
beginnings,
adventure, man.
Yeah, we respect that,
Leave
man.
the
That's
nest.
awesome.
Yeah, leave the nest, leave everything I've known, I guess. But it's bloody exciting, I will say that.
But that's the
Exciting,
thing. Though,
this is
it's
going international, baby.
Yeah, boy, look out, UK.
wide.
I'm coming for them UK ciders.
Who's driving the boat?
No, I think it's cool, man. Like, you're never too young, you're never too old, you've never gone through not enough or too much stuff to do something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially as something as broad as, jumping across to a completely different country and almost, pretty much, starting from scratch and fresh.
Yeah,
Also,
which in a way is also kind of cool. It's kind of like that cathartic thing. It's like
Yeah.
new beginnings to see,
Refreshing almost.
to make to improve as a person,
yeah.
and grow as a person, really.
But the thing is, as well, I think even though like what you mentioned before, like you've got a lot of loved ones here, people you care about, everything. Like you pretty much, your life is here at the moment.
Yeah.
Even if you go to the UK and that leads you somewhere else or anything like that, if you ever decide to come back, you always have that here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's like I love knowing that
Optus
fact.
Stadium will always be here.
That is true. It's good to know that I have such a strong family support. Like I've been, like Amy and Chris have taken me in March this year, and I've been like living with them, invading their space and being a general nuisance. But it's it's good to start over something fresh, and it's seriously exciting.
Chasing new challenges, brother.
Yeah, man.
This is sick.
Like
I'm
you
excited
said.
for you, man. For real.
You're just lucky that you were like living here with Chris and Amy, where Chris is such a nice guy that he didn't want to burden you by walking around naked. Like he actually put pants on.
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. I was a
His
nuisance,
dick
man.
would be like his beard.
No,
anyway.
you're not the
He'd be
nuisance.
outstanding.
It's like he's like, look,
Just a bird tucked in its bush.
I don't want to give you any PTSD or any sort of like traumatic issues, but like I'll wear pants. I swear to God.
Promise.
It must be so bad.
Hey?
Your chafe must be so bad.
Oh,
God damn.
I trimmed. God damn.
It's like a 70s bush down there.
That's just my asshole.
It just creeps to the front.
Could look any worse than Jake's mustache, but anyway.
When he shits, the monster pulls out the shit and eats it back up out of his head.
It sustains me.
Permanent dingleberries turn into dreadlocks down there.
Oh, shit.
He's got him, I know.
Dingle locks.
His ass looks like a Rastafarian. And it's like Bumbacluck man.
Fucking hell. My ass has got so much airtime on this show, right?
Bit like Jake's moustache.
Yeah.
Shout out to Movember, by the way, for men's mental health month.
It is, yes.
So you shaving yours off at the end of the month?
Yeah, I'm doing the reverse. Oh shit.
Although I have
So I can grow up for next year's November.
Oh, yeah.
I've run into a
Shit.
few blokes on the sites at work that are growing the old mo for Movember, so shout outs to them, keep it up, it's all for a good cause,
Yeah.
especially if you're donating and all that as well. So.
Shout out to all the gentlemen out there going through it, working through it, not going through it, but they're figuring it out how to get through these times as a young gentleman.
On how to grow a moustache? Or?
I'm trying to be serious, you fuck with.
All right.
Anyways, but yeah, shout out to mental health month. So, yeah.
If you're going through it, guys, reach out. It's
Yes.
never a weak thing to reach out.
Mm.
This year, I definitely needed help. I got pretty bad at some points in this year, and I had to reach out, which I'm glad I did, because after having those meetings, like it really allowed me to think in a different mindset, to try and put myself back on the right path without medication. Like props to you if you have the medication. I just didn't want to go down that route.
Yeah.
Try
Definitely.
to avoid that.
It's kind of like I this might apply to some people and it might not apply to some people at the same time. But it's kind of like last night I showed you you guys I recently played a game. It's called Superliminal, and it's about like perspectives. So like,
Yeah, I remember this
if I pick up this like vape, for instance, and I hold it up against that wall, it looks huge compared to that wall. And then if I drop it, it now is actually that big. Like that's the game really messes with like your perspectives. So like, it's kind of like, okay, so if you ever done this when you were growing up, where like someone's in the distance and you like close one eye and you imagine crushing their head or something like that. It's kind of like that. It's like that would actually happen in this game, right? It's kind of like a dreamscape kind of game. Now, at the end of the game, everything kind of falls apart. You kind of leave like the dreamscape and you're trying to get out of like a dream within a dream within a dream. It's like Inception. But while you're doing that, the doctor that is apparently narrating this thing runs through this quote about the common part where people feel defeated or down and stuff like that. And I'm paraphrasing here because I don't know the actual quote. Where people get down or in the dumps or they get stuck is because they are afraid of failure.
Yes. Yeah.
You may not, in the forefront, you may not actually say that's what you're actually, but in some shape or form, that is actually what it is. Mm-hmm. But because you're so afraid of failure, you fail to look at things in a different perspective, which is what you kind of just said. You looked at things from a different kind of way as well. And because you're afraid of looking at things from a different perspective, you keep doing the same shit over and over again, which then serves towards that failure that you eventually do kind of.
I mean, like I got the help that I needed, and it made me realize that I'd been a pretty shit person, in a few instances in my life, which I'm seriously not proud of, and I still think about them to this day. Like it's always going to be a part of me, but it's like there's no point dwelling on it as much as it hurts, because like I'm not that person anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just don't, like the past has happened. Like what I've done, I fucked up. I accepted it. It's up to me to try and change myself.
and become who you
and
want to
and to be the better version of myself that I know that I can be.
become.
Yeah, and that's a hard and brave thing to admit and as well as do, like
Yeah.
to
Oh, absolutely,
reach
man.
out and talk about it and go, how can I get through this process of not, crippling myself from reliving it and reliving it and reliving it. So,
And props to you, man, because that's the hard route.
yes.
That's the difficult route, because the easy route is going down and just being like, and like you said, dwelling on it. And
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
It's almost, it's weird. It's a place of comfort, and I'm talking from experience myself,
100%,
like,
man, yeah.
because like I can sit in my own head sometimes on certain situations.
Oh,
I've
we
been
all
through.
can, man. It's-
Everyone
yeah.
can, and that's the easy route. Even though it's still uncomfortable, it's the easier route. But the hard route is being like, no, that's not good enough, or I deserve better, or I want to be better, and you go down the route of most resistance. Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I found that another thing that really helped was the gym, like being more physically active and like taking my mind off that and starting to focus on other goals, like really helped like me to get out of that space that I was in.
Yeah.
Like I really wasn't in a good space, but like I'm feeling a million times better now. Like it's something that you still have to work through every day, but there's no point beating yourself up for what you've done. It's just time to like literally just improve yourself.
Yeah.
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 That's
Preach, man. Absolutely.
100%.
Cheers to that.
Hell yes.
Fuck yeah.
But no, we're proud of you for doing that, man. And like you said, reaching out is a hard thing to do, but that's all you got to do is literally just reach out and just talk to someone. Like you said, it could be
Your
we
family would appreciate it. Just
Yes.
reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down. Like nothing else more to say about that. Really, like, it's just all you got to do. Like you can be better, people. You can be better. You just got to put the time and effort in to do it and be strong enough to do it. You know what I mean? So
That's it, man.
let's
think it's
open the
time.
door on some paranormal activity.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Here we go. Benny, have you ever had an experience in the realm of paranormal or UFOs? Have you seen something in the sky that you couldn't explain, maybe lights or an object that you couldn't quite define in your periphery? Or have you ever seen something or felt something that you couldn't explain?
I love when he asks these questions. He always like puts more explanation on the side of the UFO side of things. He goes, "Have you ever like experienced anything paranormal, or maybe a star in the sky, something that you couldn't explain that was in the sky, or like have you ever been abducted in the sky? Or, like,
But like going back to the sky,
have you ever seen a ghost in the sky? Like,
basically what I'm trying to ask is if you have ever seen a UFO before? No.
UFOs, no. Although I do.
UF no.
Yes, that is a UF no. Although I do wish that I would see something because, I mean, that would just be incredible.
So you are a believer, yes.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Nice.
alien
Well,
on
after
the
living with
shirt.
me for nearly this whole
Part of
year, you
his
have to
logo.
be, right?
Yeah, I mean, part of my logo is like a spaceship, like abducting an apple. So,
Yeah.
like paranormal, I would say when we lived in our like first house as kids, I always I would fall asleep at night, and I think I would like wake up. I wouldn't be able to open my eyes, but I would always feel as if like I couldn't move or open my eyes, but I'd always feel as if there was like a face, like there was someone right in front of my face. Like I could just feel,
okay.
I could just feel something there, and then after a while, it would sort of like vanish, and then you could like open your eyes.
So you kind of had like the sleep paralysis sort of effect almost.
It was just really weird. Like I could literally feel something. Like it felt like there was a weight on me, and there was like someone right in front of my face. Is the weirdest feeling. But then when we moved to our second home, nothing. Like I never had that again.
Okay. When you had this happen to you, were you having weird dreams, but like to the lead up of this happening?
No,
or?
it just honestly felt like I'd woken up, but I couldn't open my eyes because something wasn't letting me open my eyes. Like just a very, very weird feeling, a bit ominous, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of the only thing. Like I've done like ghost tours of like old mental asylums and done like all kinds of jail tours and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's hard to say if you like feel something because those places in general are just like creepy as all hell.
Yeah. And they kind of do play on that when they're
Yeah, and I mean
tours, don't they?
that's the whole idea is like
Yeah.
they're selling that experience of a little bit of a little bit of fear, a little bit of excitement. But you go to someplace and you can it's hard to say. Like you feel the presence,
Yeah.
but who knows? It's hard to say.
Yeah, I feel you. Like there's certain obviously people would refer it to as haunted sites or whatever, or that have almost like you said, like an entity presence about it. Like there's something ominous going on with that building. Like something's still there that was obviously living there before and hasn't moved on. Or
I mean, so it's that whole thing of energy. I mean,
yeah, you're right. Going back to energy again,
I mean,
absolutely. Like an energy hasn't fully moved on. Either from when it was living to then, and it's obviously hold on to something, and it's usually we're in the reference of what we're talking about now is like a negative or a sad person that died in like a rough instance or a sad instance, and their soul, their spirit, or their energy hasn't left, and it remains in that building or that place wherever this haunting or this vibe comes from.
Yeah,
I think that's quite common in a lot of haunted stories.
A little bit of food for thought. Again, my brain going a million miles an hour at the moment. When you go to like, hey, this is an attraction, it's a haunted house kind of thing, like, how much do you think plays into that in terms of, one, it's actually haunted and there's actually an energy there, or two, the other side of it, the preconceived notion that there's something there, and now you create it out of your own thoughts and sensations.
Yeah. I think that does play a huge part.
What I'm talking about here is like, for instance, like on our last podcast, like behind the scenes, like we were talking about like scary shit and stuff, and I was saying like how I've been watching a lot of like Nuke's top 5 scary moments caught on tape kind of stuff on YouTube, and I remember. It was on the weekend, I think. My sister came over, and Sam and I was chilling on the couch, and we're watching like just video after video after video of this kind of stuff. And some of them were a bit stupid and stuff like that. There were these ones that were actually kind of creepy. I could feel like, even though I wasn't jumping, like I could just feel all these goosebumps just like appear on my arm and my leg and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I need to pee. And I walk down my hallway, and it's just pitch black down. I'm like, something's gonna fucking like. I remember thinking about it. I'm like, something's gonna like peep out. I'm gonna see something in the reflection. Something's
Like
gonna be
you
in the distance.
said,
I'm gonna
Just sucker punch
Like,
it.
that preconceived
break my hand
notion.
again because I punched a wall.
So, it's like, so going to that like preconceived notion of like you're just watching something and it's playing in your head. And you're like,
That's what I mean. Like,
I can hold it. I need to go.
Yeah,
I need to go to
yeah.
pee. Like Sam, do you want to come hold my hand while I go for a pee? Muscles, walk next to me.
yeah,
Muscles
but like,
is like, nah, bro.
it's that's like it.
Fork.
It makes me think. It's like like for instance, like Fremantle Prison, for instance, they're like, well, the spirits of the prisoners are still here and stuff like that. Some of the people that died, and they do like a couple of like skits in there that make you freak the fuck out because I've heard like they throw like a dummy off the top and shit like that to make it look like someone's jumping off and shit. But like how much of that like. I'm curious, you might not be able to explain it, but how much of that, is it actually just more so your sensations playing a trick on you because of that seed planted, or is it now that because that seed's planted, you're more open to it and you actually experience it? Bow, bow, bow.
No. Were you watching videos of like spirits and ghosts or like cryptids as well?
It's everything. It's everything creepy, caught on tape.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, there's like things of like weird noises in the sky, like literally like a scream. Like this guy's filming out his window and you hear this, and he's like, it's like coming from the sky, like over here, like weird fucking
Those
noises.
damn screaming clouds again. Today's forecast.
Today's forecast involves screams.
High chance of screaming.
You now switch to Ollie Williams with the weather report. Ollie, how's the weather?
Can I say something?
No,
Go ahead,
Thanks.
Brett.
No, just in this type of realm of things. Mum had a dream book growing up, and I really believe this dream book because I dreamt one day when I was younger that my teeth were falling out.
I've had that dream.
Right?
6 years later, his teeth fell out.
Yeah, and they're just all falling out. And then I read in the book there was a section about teeth falling out. It says you're going to be sick or something to do with sickness or illness or whatever. And that morning I was throwing up my cornflakes. I didn't eat cornflakes for like 4 years after that.
It was actually your teeth that you were throwing up.
Yeah, but so ever since I read that and then I fell sick that morning, I kind of believed it. Oh, fucking dreams mean something,
Yeah.
massively. And
Okay. Here's something even more creepy to make that even creepier, right?
yeah,
Cornflakes made from corn.
Corn's teeth.
Corn kernels look like teeth.
Yellow gingivitis infected teeth.
Little tiny baby gingivitis teeth.
That's nasty.
didn't really blow my mind, but I'll see where you're going with it. But my point was, I don't know about you guys, but did you any of you have like a reoccurring dream growing up?
Yeah, I talked about this on another episode. Where
Did we?
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah?
Like, just recently, yeah. It's a rock'em sock'em puppet chasing me.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Rock
What do you think
and
it
It's
bloody?
this thing like this, and it was gigantic, like the size of a house, and I'm just running.
Growing big and race like right small.
Come back here.
Like Ray's running, but he has the arms.
I look down, I'm like,
I wonder what they mean. Hey, like I remember having two in particular. One, it was I was sitting in my lounge room in the house I grew up in, and my sister's just walking through the front door, but it was all like you know those silly mirrors where they stretch you.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked like that. It was like from my point of view, first person, and it looked like that, and it was black and white, and it was like a silent movie. So everything was kind of in fast forward. I had that one all the time, as well as similar thing, but it was a train, but it was black and white. And I just saw this train going around. And I remember I used to tell my mum, I can hear a train in my head. I think it was my heartbeat. You know, sometimes when you're laying down, you can hear your heartbeat. I kind of thought that was a
Get that
train
checked out.
sound in my head.
Yeah, right.
But like, I used to have those for years, and I was like, oh, what the fuck does it mean? So, I don't know, just dreams are pretty powerful and strange.
Some of them
and-
have meaning. Like,
Yeah.
like this is really weird. Like, and it still weirds me out. But like, I'm kind of used to it now. My mum dreams of me dying, like, or getting severely injured, like multiple times.
That's nice.
Yeah, and like,
Oh,
and
cheers, Mum.
I know when she's had the dream because she'll randomly message me and be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, I just quickly wanted to share a scary dream I had recently. To you guys, it might not be scary, but for me, in the dream, I still remember and I still feel it. Like in the dream, for some reason, I was just fucking terrified. I like logically thinking about it. I'm like, why the fuck was I scared? But like, I still feel the feeling of when I was in the dream.
Okay.
So it was about 2 weeks ago. I was out cold. I actually had a decent sleep, and Sam was over, so she slept over and stuff like that. And we hadn't talked about Bali or anything like that, right? But this dream was me and her were in Bali, and it was post-COVID. Streets are dead, shops are closed, all that kind of stuff. So it was really sad to kind of see it first. So I was like, "Well, fuck, what's going on?" So, you know, some of those like little like deli supermarket things that are in the corners like were open and stuff. So I went to go grab some water and stuff like that. We're walking across the road, and we grab some drinks, and then Sam's like, "Oh, I'm just going to go across the road back again and grab some other stuff from the other store." I'm like, "All right, whatever." So she leaves me in there. She leaves. I finish paying. I come out. I can't find her. She's not across the road. I'm like, "Oh, maybe she's around the corner." I walk across the road in this dream. I'm like, where the fuck is she? Like, I can't find her. I turn around. She was actually on the side of the road that I was originally on, but now there's a big mound of dirt and there's a helicopter on the top of that mound of dirt. I'm like, and she's like waving at me from the top. I'm like, oh, okay. Somehow, almost immediately, I've climbed up that hill and she's like, oh yeah, I got us a helicopter to get us back to, our accommodation. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sweet.
I get inside this helicopter and it's one of those like buzzard kind of helicopters, those small ones where it's like, it's got the big window pane that runs over the top.
Yeah.
So I get inside, I've literally got headphones on and everything like that, and and then I look up through this glass, what I think was glass, and I can see the propellers. This is what, I don't know why this freaked me the fuck out in the dream, and I can still kind of feel how I felt in that dream, but the propellers are made out of bamboo. And for some reason, that freaked me the fuck out because I was like, this thing's going to start, and I know, like, the type of person I am, I'm just going to be like, look, just commit. It could be fine. And something bad's going to fucking happen. And then I woke up from the dream.
Bamboo's pretty strong.
Huh?
Bamboo's pretty tough.
Yeah, but like...
It's tough.
Like,
It's
okay,
tough.
have you
Freaking
seen
hell.
helicopter
Pretty tough.
propellers before? Like, the shit's just straight, like, it's strong.
Yeah.
This shit was like, brrr. Like, it was just, like, your
it
ceiling fan.
flies
That's in the
like
I was
patio.
going to say like my fan in the alfresco. They walk like
Yeah, it was like, "Rrr." I'm like, shit, this shit's gonna fucking snap in midair and we're gonna die. I'm like, oh, fucking commit to it. And then I woke up from the dream.
You didn't feel safe.
Yeah,
That's why you
yeah.
I had this one
Weird.
fucked up dream recently, and I think it was because I was watching Jurassic Park a couple of months back, and I was getting chased by a dinosaur, and but I was with you boys, but you were ahead like on bikes.
Is this an old joke? You're going to say you're getting chased by us because we're dinosaurs? Is this where this leading?
No.
Shut the fuck up. No. Anyway, so Chris and Ray and the boys, they're all in their cars or bikes, whatever, and like all of a sudden a cliff just comes out of nowhere, and like as the dinosaur's about to eat us, like we've all just launched. But the feeling is I got a fear of heights. We had parachutes on, right?
You got eaten?
No. It missed us, but as we're floating, I'm just floating in air, looking at you going down. but like I'm still stuck in the air, just like froze, but like slowly coming, and like you know that sick feeling when you're on like a roller coaster or something.
Yeah,
I woke up literally about to yak because I was just like watching you float, and I'm like, I'm gonna die, man. Like when am I coming down? But because it was going so slow, and I'm just watching you guys
Pulling your cord. Like,
yeah, I'm just watching you guys float, man, and it was fuck like that feeling, bro. Just like where all your guts come up to your chest and shit.
It was
In the
those,
dream,
it was
you
those
look-
75 beers you had the night before.
I think it was that because I obviously watched Jurassic Park not long ago.
Here's a
and
question: what dinosaur or dinosaurs were chasing us?
it was T-Rexes for sure, yeah.
Fuck, that would be pretty
It was like two
So,
of them. It
so
was two
here,
of them.
here's us falling down, and there's him floating above us, and then he's like, "Oh no, I don't know what's going on." And he notices his
T-Rex has
hands.
got you.
He's actually a pterodactyl now. He's like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, shit.
But like, yeah, just like that roller coaster gut feeling, man. And I just like, I felt sick because I was like, when am I gonna come? Like, when am I coming down?
It's like
'Cause
that-
I can
when
just
am I
see you
gonna
guys
come?
just doing your thing, man.
It's like that feeling when you go over a hill really quickly in the
Yeah.
car. You're like, "Oh."
Man.
Nuts in your mouth.
And I just woke up, bro, and I was ready to yak because I was just like, that felt so fucking real. But I just remember the dinosaur's mouth just opening as we've just jumped off this cliff, man. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I just remembered it. Yeah. So
Yeah, dreams are weird, hey.
Yeah.
also a really cool dream I had though not long ago also was I was Spider-Man. And I'm just floating around in the city, boy. It was fucking sick, man. But the same thing again, the gut feeling of when you're going through buildings and shit. I was like, oh.
I've had that dream before where you're like Spider-Man, you can zip around the city, or ones where you can fly and stuff. It's like
He's shooting web, but it's not from his hands.
That's all Brett dreams about now.
I shoot web from my arachnads.
I webbed her.
Going backwards.
It'd be like that scary movie scene, but with the net.
Oh my god.
That's nasty. Nasty bitch.
Dreams.
Dreams.
We're definitely meant to have them, but even though we don't know what they mean half the time.
I think it's a collation of like what you
Pardon me.
experience and like conscious things that you experience, and then even unconscious stuff that is just absorbed from
Yeah.
your environment.
Like there was some things that happened over summer, like when we were touring, like we'd be at certain restaurants or there'd be a certain group of people that would be there. And I had sort of seen that like in a dream, maybe like a year beforehand.
Yeah.
But I woke up and went like, who the fuck were those people? Like, because you don't know.
Deja vu.
But then like you're sitting there eating and you're just like your brain goes ding. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
I've actually
Been here,
done this
mate.
already.
Yep.
That's happened to me numerous times
Yeah,
over my life.
Same,
I'm like,
same.
There's even the phenomenon of like where people have dreams and they see a man's face, and multiple people say they see the same man's face, and they're like, "Oh, this is fucking creepy." There's kind of like a scientific explanation to it, and it's apparently this face. Like if you chuck in a whole bunch of people's like photographs of their face into like a computer generator and then get it to mesh together, it comes out somewhat resembling this man's face. So it's almost like it's
the universal man.
Yeah, the universal man almost. It's the guy from fucking Half-Life.
Sorry, I was just going to mention on that topic. You know, Coburn, the sign.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah, it's all the faces. Of
Yeah. Mind blown.
That's what people are dreaming about.
Old Betty in Coburn, man.
Oh man. Well, gentlemen,
I think it's been
it's been a fucking epic episode.
bit of a ride tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
A little bit sad that we have to end this episode with saying goodbye, literally.
It's a special
but
one though.
It's a very special, heartfelt episode.
Yeah, I'm glad that I could jump on. I was going to be on one of the earlier ones, but I decided to sit out. Maybe that was one of the ones that didn't get released. I like sat out and you guys did your thing. I wanted you guys to find your feet before you sort of had guests.
Early stages.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
it's actually been a pleasure to like watch the growth over almost a year now. All the different guests and stuff you guys have had on, like it's been really good. It's a privilege to be a part of those awesome guests.
No, you've definitely been a part of this, Ben. You've definitely helped us out on numerous episodes with either editing or just helping with like the audio side of things in the room.
Of course,
like
man. That's what
we greatly appreciate
that's what I
it.
do.
Just an idea, so that we have it on record, and if you're ever feeling lonely when you're in the UK, which you won't, because you've got plenty of people over there that you're going to make new friends with and
Yes.
influence their life in a positive way, like you've influenced ours. But for the sake of the people around this table right now, let's go around and say something nice about Ben.
Oh, you guys.
Chris.
Are you going to start with me?
Yeah.
All right.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. Here we go. No, I'm going to say it.
He's like, here we go.
All right, where do I begin? This fucker.
I am not
Jesus.
prepared for this. I was totally not prepared.
No, well, Benny, I've officially known you now. Well, same as you and Brett. You know, I've
known Brett for long.
Oh, sorry, yeah, you've known Brett longer. Yes, true. Officially, I probably would have known you for 17 years.
Yeah,
But no, like
Stop opening a beer, bro.
they're twist tops, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're twist tops.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
are.
they are twist tops. I can see it from
No wonder.
You open bottles like sissy girl. No.
Fuck.
Okay, we're gonna pause and then we're gonna edit back into now.
I'm totally leaving that part in.
Yeah, please do.
No, where was I? I was saying, yeah, I've known Benny for 17 years now, and mainly officially meeting you through dating your sister in high school. And ever since that point, like, you know, knowing you from being a teenager to now, and we're in our 30s now, like, I've never looked at you as my girlfriend or my fiance or my wife's brother. You've always been like,
I was going for a second. I was like, hang on a second.
I consider you as a
Oh,
you're killing a soft moment.
God.
What I want to say is I really love you. No, no, Benny.
coming to UK with you.
I'm gonna hide in your fucking suitcase. No, I've always looked at you as one of my best friends, Ben, and I will always look at you that way,
yeah, man, absolutely.
And
Likewise.
all the times that we've had together, you know, in some of the past memories that we spoke about today, and other numerous stuff that we've done over the years, like, I'll always hold that close to my heart, man. Like, you're my brother, man. You've always been like an older brother to me too, and
Yeah.
like, we've always been so close. We've always gotten closer as we've gotten older. And I think that's pretty rare to have someone who is your brother-in-law that is one of your best friends, man. And
Yeah,
I just want to say
absolutely.
that
I love
from the
it.
bottom of my heart, man. I love you, and I wish you nothing but the best for the future.
Thanks, man.
And I hope everything goes swimmingly, which I've been saying a lot lately. But
Swimmingly.
just all positive, man. Like, from past to now, man. Nothing but positive, man.
Thanks,
love
man.
you.
I appreciate it. I love you too, man.
You want to jump in, Brady?
Brett.
We'll go around.
Of course. So, knowing Ben for the longest here, no, I'm joking.
Just
Slight
just
flex.
a cheeky flex. Well, I've
Yeah,
known you
yeah.
since, what, you were 4 years old?
About 4 or 5
5
years
years
old,
old.
yeah. It's crazy. No, I didn't think I'd be as upset as I am, actually. I know I'm a big softie, and I don't think... Does that sound mean? Probably sounds mean, but... Yeah, I'm actually quite upset that's been going, but, like, that's me being selfish. I'm very excited for you and for your future endeavours, and it's pretty ballsy, man, to go to an international country. You know, like, my hat's off to you, man.
Thanks, bro.
That's awesome, and I'm so excited for what the future holds for you. Ben's a very special person to me. I've gone through a lot of firsts with Ben, actually. I'm not sure I'm not going to
There's
talk
many that you won't mention.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about those on air. But
Like their first kiss.
yeah, Ben's always been a person. You know, he's a couple years older, so I've kind of always looked up to him. Especially when we started hanging out, when we got into our teen years. I was like, wow, like, not idolising. That sounds a bit, but just a person of confidence, a person of it's hard to explain really, but he knew his shit, you know what I mean? And like an older brother figure, I guess, and someone who took me under his wing, and I felt that love, I guess is what I'm trying to say, from Ben.
Yeah.
I didn't need it, I didn't expect it, I didn't need it, but he's like, no, you're my mate, I'm gonna take you under my arm, and he offered that for a lot of years with me anyways growing up. So I just want to let you know, Ben, that I do really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Whether you knew or not. I appreciate you as a person and a friend and a brother. I'm going to miss you dearly, but I'm very excited for your future,
Thanks,
man.
man. I'll miss you as well, Brady. Loved you for
brother.
the longest time.
That's it.
Yeah, man. I don't know where to start, but I'm actually gonna kick it off of when I was 12, when I first met Benno. I knew from the moment I met him that, like, he was like an uncle to me, man. Like, it was like an instant connect. It was just like,
I was so fucking old.
yeah, yeah. Well, you did. You felt like a lot older, but at the same time, it was like, yeah, like the boys say, you're like a big brother to myself as well as an uncle at the same time to me, man. And I mean, shit, you've helped me appreciate music more than I ever thought I could, including Chris as well. Chris was a massive influence in my life with music, but yeah, you really broadened my, is that the word? Broadened my perspective on music and different genres, and really deep diving in different categories and just like respecting it on a whole nother level. Yeah, you've been there for a lot of firsts for myself, whether it be graduating school, going to TAFE, going to fucking you know, coming out on my 18th and fucking show me different places in Northbridge where to drink and shit, man. And it was just, yeah, like, we've had a lot of cool, fun experiences together, man. You've been part of my family for over fucking 10 years now. 12 years almost, is it, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 8, 09?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so it's been just over 10 years now, man. So you've known me since I was literally a young lad. And yeah, man, I'm just so excited for the next chapter of your life, man. You know, this is a big leap of faith and it's a big test in your life, man. But yeah, I know you've always never been afraid of taking that next step and challenge. And yeah, really fucking excited for you, man. And you know, don't forget to Skype call us when you can. And
Don't you worry, bro.
because yeah, we're looking forward to see what's going to happen for the future of Benno, man.
Me too.
But proud of you, bro. I love you. I'm going to miss you. And I can't wait to come visit you when COVID's all fucked off, bro. So
Fuck yeah. Cheers
Yeah.
to that, my friend.
much love, man. All the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Happy days. My turn. I've probably known you the least, actually. Probably actually, yeah, probably
say
same.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll rewind back to what I was saying earlier when I used to be terrified of you. It was during music concerts, and I'd see you jump off on stage, and like I remember you used to sing as well a couple of times.
Yes.
And I thought you were this big, burly, like you got thick joints. Like that's enough to make you look like big and burly.
I'm a thick bitch.
That ass. Yeah, and I didn't know anything about you. I just knew you were Amy's older brother kind of thing. And it's kind of like that, I guess that admiration for like the older sibling kind of thing as well. It was always like, okay, Amy's my mate. You're the older brother. So it's like, if I do anything wrong by Amy or anyone that's close to Amy, it's like,
fuck you
you'd
up.
be the one that would fuck me up kind of thing.
Yeah. Sure.
And yeah, massive
Snap
resting
your-
bitch face.
Snap your neck. And my resting bitch face. If you haven't met me, it's
Quite
bitchy.
prominent. But then, yeah, I remember, I think when I really got to know you more was slowly through that music kind of thing through high school. And then more so when I turned 18, which we won't go into the story about what happened and why it happened, but that was a first. So we've all had firsts here.
I think
Shout out to the first.
I'm pretty sure many of us experienced a first that night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, God.
So there was that night, and then many memories shared on nights after that, you know, going out clubbing. Again, very fond memories of things with you, which again I won't mention, but like they were kind of hilarious.
We'll give a shout out to Amber.
Yeah, Amber.
Oh,
yeah, there
God,
you go.
that's
Yeah.
going down memory lane. Jeez.
And yeah, it just kind of built up that admiration for you as, yeah, like a brother, a friend, someone. And I think the biggest thing that made me really, really appreciate you was on a superficial level, like your appreciation for like music, like simple things and stuff like that as well. Like, I used to really admire the fact that you knew every single lyric to almost every single fucking song.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
a good point.
It is a sickness that I have, I must say. And when I've had a few, it's definitely a tested sickness.
Many
that's for
times walking through the old car park at Burswood, now Crown, and like you and Chris would be like walking to the car in front of us, and like you would just be rapping like every lyric word for word, like from all these like songs. I was like, who is this guy? Like, you know, like what planet is he from? How does he know all this? You know, but yeah, many memories with that, and then you know, seeing you know your progression through like your career and stuff like that as well, and just your warmth as a person. You know, completely throwing out that very initial, you know, perception I had of you of being like this, like, oh, you motherfucker, kind of, you like,
Yeah.
you know, like you're a big cuddly bear.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You're, you know, admiring your beard, you know,
Which has grown in various stages over the year.
stages, lengths, sizes, shapes, all sorts. But no, just you as a person, man. Like you're a very warm, welcoming person. Anybody that crosses your path and enters your life and becomes a part of your life is absolutely blessed to be part of it.
Thank you.
You know, in any shape or form. So I have without a shadow of a doubt that you will do amazingly, swimmingly, over in the UK when you head over there. But on a kind of, I guess, a professional level with the podcast, and I guess even with me on an education kind of level, I want to take a moment to appreciate and thank you for all the support and help that you have provided us as well.
Yeah. And
Especially,
I want to see you
hands
guys
down.
succeed. I want that. I want to see you guys doing tours eventually. That shit would be awesome.
yeah, like I'm by no sense like a professional at editing or anything like that, but you have really helped guide the way and support that as well. And without you, I doubt we'd be anywhere near where we are now as well. So in any shape, not just the podcast, but even other aspects of our life as well. So
Thanks,
I really
man.
appreciate you, man. And just taunt us with all the fucking awesome snow you're going to see over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a white Christmas. I mean,
Fuck you.
I know. I've never
Go on,
seen
get.
I've never seen snow, so I'm gonna be butt ass naked in that thing if I get a chance. It's the only way to experience it, right?
I just got to say one more thing. I just don't think you realise the effect you have had on all of us growing up. I just want you to know that.
Thanks, man. I've always like Amy has always had really good friends. Like you guys have been A1 since day one, like all of you. And there's so many more that we don't have time to mention. But like we've always stayed close, even if we haven't been able to see each other every other week. Like that closeness is still there as family, and like I'd be lost without you guys as well. So as much as I appreciate you guys have. That I've helped you guys have all helped me as well. Grow as a family.
No, we love you, bro.
Love you,
Thanks,
boys.
man.
Love
On
you
that
guys
note,
down.
while we're on the whole topic of Benny over here and love and awesome words and how you've affected us, for those that have not yet crossed the path of you and are only hearing about you for the first time through this podcast, what would be some words of wisdom you could leave them to get them a bit of a flavour of Benny?
Words of wisdom.
Eat your apples.
Well, I mean, yeah. First of all, eat your apples. Be healthy. Eat your apples. I've been guilty. I haven't been eating my apples lately though. Words of wisdom. It pretty much goes without saying, but treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't be a dick to people. There's so many people that are going through some real shit, and if you come along and you start being a dick to them, I mean, like that's the last thing that they need.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I seriously hate when people are rude to me, so I try my hardest not to be rude to anyone. Like it's just literally common courtesy is something
Goes a long way.
something that seems to be forgotten now. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I understand everyone's got such busy lives now, but like we're all
It's not an excuse.
no, we're all exactly the same. Like treat every person the way you want to be treated. It's the most simple shit.
Yeah.
They say don't be a cunt. That's pretty much what it is. But I will say as well, some more words of wisdom. If you're not happy, you really need to reach out to someone. It might be hard, but it's definitely worth doing because your family would appreciate having you around. So you might think that it's hopeless, blah blah blah. You need to really look after yourself so that your family doesn't have to suffer. If you need help, please reach out and get some help. It's never too late.
Thank you, Benny.
Thank you.
No
That's
worries.
awesome. Strong words that we can all definitely agree on there for sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
And from the bottom of all of our hearts here, Ben, from growing up from being kids to adults now, man, we've watched you grow and we love and respect the man that you are now, man. And we cannot wait to see you grow even more. And we wish you nothing but the safest and best of travels. And
Thanks,
we
bro.
look forward to seeing what the future holds for you, man. It's going to end it there. We love you, Ben.
Love you, Ben.
Much
you.
love, brother.
I love you all.
Can we applause?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, lads. Thanks for having me on board. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Episode 18, baby.
Peace out.
Much love.
Peace.
Bye.
No more